I definitely see signs of hope now that, we have ordinals that are starting to kind of bring back a culture of actually doing things. It feels like there's real pushback to the laser eye movement, which is good. It feels like there's some kind of organic return of builder culture, which is definitely a positive sign to see.
Welcome back to the newly rebranded The Ordinals Show. I'm just going to keep playing a little bit of music for now, but then got lots of interesting stuff to talk about today.
The pain breached, love stopping, guns popping, taught to play with army men, young fun chopping. But it ain't fun and games when a child's shot, dropping to the floor. No one's there to stop the coffin locking, empty cutter rocking, blood clotting in my arteries, arrows fly across the top blocking. So please tell me that we are free, freedom of speech or the freedom to breathe. The way I believe is respect, equally him as if he is you and you are me. Who are we to end a conscious life for the power of greed to endow her and we? Cause we got our own choice and we made it. Yes we have. Yeah, we got our own choice and we made it. We made the bed. Let's stop feeding the world, there's people bleeding in hell. It's like they're breeding in hell. Money powers people like they've been breeding with shell. They've been wanting to dig up Antarctica for the fossil fuel power of sun. I'm a solar powered alien through the sky. Weird unusual guy spreading love from the inside out. But I will fight if I have to. You got your own choice, make your own choice. You got your own choice, so make your own choice. You got your own choice, make your own choice. You got your own choice, so make your own choice. Yeah, I feel alienated when I think about stopping. The bombs dropping on the country, propaganda got us lost, my guts dropping. This system is trying to fuck with my immunity with flu jabs, ingredients are unknown news to me. A question to the dogmas are classed as a lunacy, but I just wanna know my choice so I can be true to me. I wanna be civilized, fuck this uncivilized killing in the country, giving weapons to the victims to fight wars. Why cause more bloodshed, more death, more tears and more upset, huh? Be the change I wanna see in the world. People are hungry in the country laying there. We got our own choice, so make your own choice. You got your own choice, so make your own choice. You got your own choice, yeah, make your own choice. You got your own choice, so make your own choice. I've had enough of these people taking over the world. They've had enough of people like me spreading the word, because I believe like others on the planet the truth should be heard. The fate of the planet should not be rehearsed like this verse. I'm just speaking up. I'm just speaking up. Speaking up. I'm just speaking up. I'm just speaking up.
I'm just speaking up. Hopefully you can hear me this time. I've been doing quite a bit of speaking up that's been lost in the ether due to technical issues. But hopefully, now that we're back with the new show, I'm a bit more on top of things now, and we'll be getting some guests on again over the next few weeks. Again, that was just a bit too much of a technical feat for me to get all the guests in so that they could hear the music I was playing as well. But welcome back. This is now the ADIONALS show. ADIONALS are a novel idea about recursively accessing audio that is held on the Bitcoin blockchain and forming new songs from the audio on chain. There are some very interesting benefits to operating in this way, operating in an on-chain environment for musicians, both in terms of distribution and also in terms of attribution in the form of royalties and credit where credit is due. But more on that later. Let's just listen to another few ordinal inscriptions from the Bitcoin blockchain.
You getting played as a stage, pre-written and given like plague. Energy perch on the stage, watch you get burned with a flame. I'm catching all up with the graves, listening out for the train. Pull the pin out the grenade, trickling blood from my veins. Jump, hold tight to the reins, thunder and lightning brains. Trump ain't here to enlighten days, media munch your brain. Some of them might complain, some of them feel the same. Some of don't feel too great, some of take long to change. Now I'm back in the stage, happiness seems to fade. Figures in masquerade, living on Mars, hooray. Cinema view drew close to the broken souls of the past dark days. Finish my zoo, blow token, crow 2 kicks, restart my brain. Sinner been a winner and a bigger, I've been in it for a minute or two. And this is the first big vision on the television, man, I set foot on the moon. Living in a twisted dream, the mystic screams, vindictive tunes. Telling me to change my ways, repent my sins or end in doom.
Sorrow, look, I'm at that. We landed too, dispensary pay. Her phone too, my phone back, my phone boo, my bitch is back. Sorrow, look, I'm at that. We landed too, dispensary pay. Her phone too, my phone back, my phone boo, my bitch is back.
In the space like billionaire boy club, ice cream, ice clean, lights gleam, me and love will bring the heat. I'm not talking about a tool, I'm just talking about the sound. All these other niggas clowns. I'm like a Neptune's nigga with the way y'all write progressions. Don't talk to me, I don't need your objection. If y'all always stands down as blessings, my flow is so infectious, my ego spreads. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm attention.
I'm at that. We landed too, dispensary pay. Her phone too, my phone back, my phone boo, my bitch is back. Sorrow, look, I'm at that. We landed too, dispensary pay. Her phone too, my phone back, my phone boo, my bitch is back.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man. $1.5 million.
Other computers on a worldwide system called the Internet. You can send and receive mail to and from people all over the world.
The violence broke out around 1 o'clock this afternoon on Hollywood Boulevard, right in front of the Hollywood and Highland complex. Witnesses say the suspect took a metal spike off her work truck and suddenly started smashing the windows on the cruiser. He took out every window in the vehicle except for the front dash, then casually reaches into the car and rips out the officer's computer and simply walks away.
Dad can log on 24 hours a day and find out what the email mailman has dropped off.
From high technology, the computer store. Introducing Apple II, the easy-to-operate home computer. Just hook it up to your TV to create dazzling color displays. Or you can... Kids! Or you can... Kids! Or you can... Kids!
Where drugs, porn, and murder hide online, there is something called the Silk Road.
How cool is that? That's one I hadn't even heard properly before. Really like that. What's this one?
There is another way to make money.
I'ma make history, baby. Got long scriptures, my baby. You think you vibing, but you ain't describing. That sound like a miss to me, baby. It ain't a mystery, dog. I weigh the risk and reward. Ordinal pixels is dropping, the Bitcoin is popping, the tokens galore. Stop 10K, stop 100K. You ain't got none of them. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long night. Might be a long flight. If I TSB, if it didn't on sight, I'ma put it on Toast. I'ma put it on Knocker. Then just put it on Testament. We gon' put it on Block. Yeah, we doing it proper. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone that's dropping ordinals on their computer. Road to 1 million. Yeah, ordinals, 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 ordinals. Shout out Baby Spot, shout out Hootie, Tackle Wizards, Ordinal Faces, Pod Phone, On-Chain Monkey Danny, Frank, DK, D-God, I see you. Billy, what's up? Ordinal Shards, Bitcoin Shrooms, Pixel Pepes, it's too many to name, man. I'm out.
So, I was just going to show you a little bit more from the ordinal player, the ordinal sequencer, as it's called. But what's so special about the ordinal sequencer is that it is allowing people to sync up existing audio that exists on chain in order to create new music. I'll give you an example here. So if I go into the latest version of the synth, of the sequencer, and I load up something like this. And then what we've got in each channel here, each of these red lights is representing the sample in that channel being triggered. So if I cleared away a few of these, we can listen to the sample in channel 1. That's the ordinal ID that you can see there that's been loaded in. If I hit play, so that sounded very short, but what we've got here is a trim function. So this is the actual sample that we're playing off the chain. But what we can do now with this trim function is select a specific part of an ordinal sample to play, and then we can loop that up to create different beats. In fact, let's have a listen to see what this sounds like. So I sort of just ran this the other day. I just randomly selected each place for 16 different samples on chain, and it creates quite an interesting soundscape. Extra cool when you think that this soundscape is playing live directly from the Bitcoin blockchain. Let's have a listen.
Thank you, Satoshi, whoever you
Hello, I am an AudioNALS.com to describe MP3s to Bitcoin blockchain. My existence embodies a digital scarcity akin to the physical scarcity of wealth that has been AudioNALS.com. But on my testament.
Salam. Konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? आपको खुश आमदीद कहते हैं। सलाम। कोनिचिवा। ओ genki desu ka? तरफ से आपको खुश आमदीद कहते हैं। सलाम। कोनिचिवा। ओ genki desu ka? तरफ से आपको खुश आमदीद।
I just realized my mic was muted there. I was just explaining that what's really interesting about this is that when you look at a sample like this, for example, this could be an entire song. We've had some songs that we've seen in here. In fact, what's this one? If I was to take this ordinal ID and we'll replace it in one of these channels, so we'll go into here and we will load this ordinal into this channel, so we can see that it's now it's selected a small part of it, but you can select any section of here. So I could select the only limit is yourself. So I could resample this, use it in a song, like in an arrangement like this. I could put various effects on it. Someone else could then resample it, having heard it in my song, and carry that forward, kind of forking the audio chain, the signal chain, over and over again. But even by the time you get to the 10th song along, and you look at the song file, that is the series of instructions that are creating that song, they will lead you back to this original piece of audio. It's not like you're even cutting, like resampling in the traditional sense is re-recording something from a song and then taking it and putting it into a new arrangement, whereas this form of on-chain resampling means that the audio never leaves the original sample. Even when it's used in another song, it's literally playing it from the original song, which is pretty incredible, really, when you think about it. It leads to I think I've got an example here of a Merkle tree example here, and what this is demonstrating is how a sample can be taken from a song and then it can be used in another song. I'm just going to open this up so I can see what I'm doing here. So we've got a kick drum sample. Now I can't seem to, here we go. Right, so here's an example where I've then used that kick drum sample in a song, and the song has applied like an effect. We've got an effect unit, and then it's been mixed into the song. So if we carry on with the same thing, someone could resample the drum sample after I've already used my processing, and they can use some of their own processing and put it into another song. And this can continue with people kind of forking the original audio sample either at its source or somewhere along its signal chain in a song that they like, perhaps with specific effects that they heard in a subsequent song. And every time they fork that audio sample, they are forking the entire signal chain of that sample into a new song. But no matter how far along you go, just the click of a button will lead you through that entire signal processing chain, through multiple artists, back to the original sample, which is still inserted in the song that it was originally sampled from. And that is quite profound for anyone who understands the tricky side of sample tracking and royalties. So this creates a new world where the song becomes the center of all information, and on top of that it can then become the payment rails for the future, because these songs, even this the final song here, song 8 I think that is, so that song contains a Bitcoin address for every element of the song that was used. So the composer has created the song file that lives in the composer's wallet. The kick drum sample lives in someone's wallet. The snare drum sample lives in someone's wallet. There are some synth plugins that might live in someone's wallet. Every effects unit in the chain exists in the wallet. It could be that the user, some users have built their own effects, and so those effect units have their wallet address. But at the end of the day, when the song's DNA is looked at, which is simply a JSON file that expresses all the different elements in the song and how they're used, it just outputs a list of Bitcoin addresses. And those Bitcoin addresses signify each different element in the song, whether it's a sample owner, a plugin owner, a composer. They're all in there. And that is potentially building a set of payment rails for the future, where performing rights organizations could simply take a song file and then know every party involved is listed as a Bitcoin address in that song file. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where this goes, but it certainly creates some very interesting dynamics for the future, putting artists much more in control of their rights and ownership of their music. Yeah, but with that, let's go back to listen to some more ordinal sounds which I've been collecting over the last few weeks. Just went through quite a bit of some of the more recent stuff actually is what I've just been playing, but let's have a look at some other stuff that I've found lately. Over here, let's just find it. It is this one.
There is another way to make money. Yeah. Coin cash, no, I ain't gonna bash. No, I ain't gonna ask when I get a little cash.
yourself. No one's to blame, and I wish you well. But choose another name, yeah. People lose money when the stands to the wrong interest. Ain't funny, it's a fucking miss, yeah. It's a game driving people insane. When I'm choosing by a name and I choose the wrong blockchain. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash ain't trash. It's a pretty good but it ain't the same as the Bitcoin. There's a revolution going around. Max coin is found. You're indebted, don't you get a thing around town. And if you let it, don't you let it get you from town. There's a revolution you wanna join. Get started, get some Bitcoin. You're just indebted, don't you get it, don't forget it. If you let it raise it this year. Let me tell you in a way that's understood. This is a thing called reverse running good. Take from the poor, give to the rich. Count to the more, ain't like the bitch. They've been paying this game since forever. You're not a fight and praise the people together. So in the game they control, hell no. It's easy to win when you run for the casino. There's a revolution going around. Max coin is found. You're indebted, don't you get a thing around town. And if you let it, don't you let it get you from town. There's a revolution you wanna join. Get started, get some Bitcoin. You're just indebted, don't you get it, don't forget it. If you let it raise it this year. Let me tell you in a way that's understood. This is a thing called reverse running good. Take it from the poor, give to the rich. Count to the more.
See, this is, I might just have a little play here just to show you a little bit more playing around with the sequencer. So this inscription here that we just heard there is 158,460. So I'm just going to go up here. You can't see the menu bar here. I'm just going up and copying the ordinal ID from after inscription. In fact, I might be able to. No, I can't. Hang on. If I do that. No, hang on. I'm on the wrong one. Anyway, I'm just going to copy the ordinal ID and then I'm going to go into the sequencer, which I'll just bring up on screen here. So go into the sequencer and then let's load this into the first channel, paste the ordinal ID, click load, and that's now here in the channel. So let's just have a little listen. Of course I've got to reset the trim at this point, so we'll just open the whole thing out. So it's a bit faster than this. Maybe something around there. Yeah, there's a few little bugs in here that I'm still working on. But anyway, let me just go in and trim that down a bit more so we've got something that's more like a loop. So that sounds like it'll loop. So it's still a little bit even faster than that. But let's get rid of all these other guys and see if we can get that to loop up. Pretty good. And then we can see what else have we got going on in here. Oh, that's that weird one. Okay, so maybe we'll grab the snare from this. We'll just grab the snare. Make sure it's nice and tight. That's about as much resolution as I've got there. So we've got the snare here now. That, so then we just paint the snares in where we want them. In fact, what we could do is, and I haven't got another copy of that snare. So yeah, so let's have a sorry, this is all a bit much. Maybe I'll try and organise myself next week to have something a bit more organised that I can play. There's certainly a lot of scope here. I think for me it's been difficult because there's just been so much. I'm like up to my ears in code the whole time, trying to get this thing really working and robust and allowing proper saving and loading of project files. I'm getting there. You can save and load your sequences now, but the trim settings, if you're using these trim settings, they're not quite sorted. I'm still getting my head around the arrays. If anyone listening is a super brain with JavaScript arrays, give me a shout, because I'd love some help. But for now, let's go and have another listen to some other stuff. It's not just music that's on there. There's actually some really cool sound effects in amongst everything else. I've got a window of them here. Let me play you some of these sound effects. And some of these, because they're quite short and they were added fairly early on, they're mostly quite high resolution, and so will be very nice, pulled into future mixes in the sequencer. Let's have a listen to some. That's really lovely, but that actually leads me into something I was planning to mention during the show, which is something else I found, which I'm just looking for now, which is someone has gone to great pains actually to inscribe all of the piano samples, like every piano key on a piano. I found these going through the Ordinals Explorer the other day on Hero, and I'll show you some of these, because all of these, you can see they're all 3 seconds long, but all of these different ordinals. In fact, if I click on one here, let's have a listen to one. So if I open this link, and then again we copy the ID, and then we go through to the sequencer and post the if we just load the piano in here, the piano note, hit load. No, why didn't that work? Is that me? Let's load this again. Let's load this one in here. Get rid of that. So you can see there, that's right there. That's just one note we've put in there. It's a full open note, and so you can see from that there's an interesting there's going to be a lot of interesting things that we can do with this, because there you've already got all the notes from a piano, and so if you imagine a little bit like MIDI, you are able to put all of those notes into a very simple piece of software, which would only be a couple of kilobytes, inscribe that as an on-chain asset, and now you've got a working, albeit very simple, piano module, which can be pulled into the sequencer to play melodies, which can then be intertwined with audio. But you can see here they've put all the notes, not in any order. It's very simple to make a little piece of software to go and play all of those. So yeah, that's something else I just wanted to mention. I just reminded me of it listening to that bit of piano there. But let's go back and listen to some more of those sound effects, because some of those are really lovely, and I'm looking forward to hearing people pulling them into future compositions made with the sequencer. There are also some other lovely samples I found that I'm assuming they're all the same instrument. I think it's a koto, a Japanese stringed instrument. But let's have a look at some of these because they're really lovely, and they're very high resolution. It'll be a lovely thing to be able to actually cut them together into, like I said, new melodies and new songs that exist as instructions, JSON text instructions, tiny little files on the Bitcoin blockchain. The player, by the way, for playing these is currently about 150 bytes. So compositions, songs, even albums or anthologies can all be distributed in a 150 byte sized player using recursion to pull the songs into the player, which even at the current crazy inscription prices still makes the players inscribable for around $1. Let's have a listen to some of these koto samples. Where are they? Here. Yeah, some really lovely sounds in there. Beautiful, some of those. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how people play around with these things in the future, and how often they get resampled in future on-chain compositions. Also found some kind of noodling out there somewhere. Where is it? I found some sort of guitars and maybe a Rhodes. Let me just see if I can find them. There was a live jam somewhere I found. Sort of rock band, garage band live jam, which was pretty cool. Let's have a listen to some of these. So yeah, if you listen into that, that's pretty cool. But I just wanted to show you again with the ordinal sequencer. If you go and visit ordinals.com/AAA_live beta testing, you can play with the live production version of the sequencer with all of its bugs. But you can have a little play around. Again, you can load some presets in here. You can obviously bring your own ordinal samples in there, but you can also load up Some presets in here to sort of start playing. This is one I found a little while ago, which I'm quite looking forward to cutting up and resampling and playing. It's quite a funny vocal I found a little while ago.
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I said.
Oh, hang on, I've got to untrim it. There we go.
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say and fucking chopping it up. Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say and fucking chopping it up. Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say. Nobody's taking fucking chopping it up. Nobody's taking cuts.
Just lost all those trims, but I had some quite funny trims in there. But again, this is very much in production. This version, I'm still struggling with the like I said, the arrays for saving all of these various settings. It's getting a little overwhelming. But anyway, like I said, hopefully within a couple of weeks I'll have this under control, and it'll be I'll be coming back with some actual songs that I'm creating in there. I'm going to leave it off in a second because we're past an hour now, but I've just got a couple more I'll play. Computer game sounds, that was something else I found recently. There's quite a lot of various computer music on there. It's interesting because all of this on-chain audio will all be able to be recursively reused in the future, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this impacts computer gaming, because you can have soundtracks that are algorithmically tied to things going on in the game, and not just talking about stems, but talking about, you know, raw audio files that can be altered or changed at any moment, effects change, you know, songs that literally organically grow and change as a character moves through a game. It's going to be very interesting. Let's have a listen to some of these little computer game sounds I found. Blimey, I didn't realise they were all sirens like that. Yeah, but so that stuff's on there as well, and there's so much more. There's poetry. There's some what else was there? There's all sorts. There's all sorts of audio in there that I haven't even got into today. There's lots of old stuff. There's lots of famous speeches. I think there's a copy of the first recording by Alexander Graham Bell that's on there. I found a section which is all "I love you" in about 100 different languages, which is quite nice. But yeah, there's lots more. So I think next time I come back next week, I will probably delve a little more into some of the other side of audio that's appearing on chain. Something I haven't played much this week is Rare Skrilla. So I think I might go out with a Rare Skrilla. Let's see if there's one here. Well, I think this one might be Rare Skrilla. So, yep, with that, thanks again. It's been a lot of fun. Looking forward to coming back next week and showing you more what's possible on chain. Also meant to show off the synthesizer. I guess I'll save that for next week as well. But an on-chain synth that's built to kind of emulate my Korg MS-10, my favourite analog synth. But I've got one of those which is only an 8 kilobyte file, which we can get on chain, and then we can start writing some killer bass lines with that as well. So yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks again, and see you next week. Take care.
He was like, yo, do you know how happy I was for you to see you just shoot up to the top of the Bitcoin conversation? He was like, yo, you literally did the impossible.
We really gotta figure out a better way to budget for this family's future.
Bitcoin.
What?
I don't know.
It's just a tool, isn't it?
Bitcoin.
There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin mined.
Sound money. I'm opening doors for all colors, you know what I mean? For all opinions, for all ideologies.
It's an alien life form.
Bitcoin.
This money is 1 million. 1 million. 1 million.
Bitcoin.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it.
This is John McAfee, and you, lucky people, are listening to Guns and Money, Bitcoin.
He was like, yo.
Yeah, it's pretty clear Bitcoin is rising up. Virtual currencies, governments can't make them stop, cause it's got that freedom that all of us love. Peer-to-peer payments, we can't get enough. It's money 2.0, cold storage vaults we trust. Effortless transactions are just another test. If you are hashing, move the blockchain up. We're a paradigm shift, so get yourself a wallet. Transforming the basic pillars of society. The predominant peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is our technological tour de force. We should all really just go ahead and jump up on board. Because you know I'm all about that Bitcoin, keep mining. I'm all about that Bitcoin, keep mining. I'm all about that Bitcoin, keep mining. I'm all about that Bitcoin, Give me some Satoshi, got to know it's a lot to me. Please no more faucets, everyone agrees. I'm here to tell you, Bitcoin's faster, more secure, and more efficient than it is. My mom will use Bitcoin to pay for my college fees. And yesterday I used it to buy myself some coffee.